Other people's perceptions of you exist, and they're very meaningful. Like, when I go to get dressed, nowadays, I literally just want to wear a uniform. All of the ways that I tried to kind of like prove I wasn't one thing. We're all just like lying to and manipulating each other all the time.
No.
I think being embarrassing is really hot.
Wait.
Wear whatever, you know? Because then you will be cool.
Wait.
Everything is nonsense. Everything is bullshit. What just happened? How did that? Oh no.
All right, welcome to the channel, America's Reality 360, where we bring you the reality of America. Today, we're talking about Kristen Stewart. She just did an interview at Rolling Stone. She's on the front cover, big deal being on the front cover of Rolling Stone. We're not going to talk about the interview as much. She's in a new movie, apparently. We're not really going to talk about that much. We're going to talk about the transformation she went through, or they put her through, whichever. As you can see here, she looks a little different than the Twilight days, right? So let's jump right into it. This is a post from the Babylon Bee. They're a satire site. I recommend going over there, checking them guys out. They're really funny. Somebody way smarter than me once said, if you can't tell the difference between satire and reality, that's the sign that you're in a decaying society or a collapsed society. I forget exactly how he said it. It was either like George Orwell or maybe it was like Socrates or something. I don't know exactly who it was, but I think they were onto something with that. So check this out. Here it is, the new cover of Rolling Stone with the new Kristen Stewart. All right, and she's got her little leather sleeveless jacket with her hand in her jock strap. And I thought that was funny. It kind of reminded me of Al Bundy, right? Because what they're doing here is they're trying to show you this is femininity now. This is the new girly girl, I guess. This is what being a woman is in 2024. But it's funny because they're kind of going off of what the manly man used to be in my day growing up in the 90s. Okay, so this is a character named Al Bundy. He was on a TV show called Married with Children, and he was just the typical white American dad. He was a shoe salesman. He worked at like a Payless in the mall or whatever. And, off of that one job, he took care of his two kids, his wife, his dog. They had a 2-story house, and it was the American dream. And you could afford that with a shoe salesman job at the mall back then. And it was funny because in the beginning, the intro credits, he would come home and he had the money in his hand, and his son would come up. He'd hand some money to the son, out the door. His daughter would come up, hand some money to her, kiss on the cheek, out the door. The wife would come up, he'd hand the rest. He had no money left, wife out the door. Then he was left at home with the dog, all alone with the dog. But he was happy. He sat on the couch with his beer and his hand in his pants, and he watched his football, and look at him. Couldn't be happier, right? Everybody was taken care of, and he got to relax at home by himself. If you're watching on your phone, this might be a little smaller, but yeah, that's Al Bundy, man. That was the typical American dad. And some people might say this was kind of the beginning of the end for the white American dad, because Al Bundy was like real clumsy and he always got dumped on by everybody. But, in the end, his family was provided for. What more could you ask? He helped out his neighbors. He was a good stand-up guy, right? But now you get this, right? Kristen Stewart is now the one with the hand in the pants, okay? And it's kind of weird because she's totally transformed, right? She used to be this Kristen Stewart. This was from the movie Twilight. I've never seen Twilight, full disclosure. Maybe you haven't, but it was the movie with the vampire and the werewolf, and she was just like the regular, typical, beautiful girl. The two guys were kind of fighting over her, I believe, and they both wanted the girl. And look at her. She was just a normal girl. She's probably in like high school there, but whatever. She's in her 20s here, right? Beautiful, regular looking, good old American girl. But not anymore. They want it to be different now. They're changing it. They're giving us the new Kristen Stewart. And they've done this with a girl that used to be called Elliot Page. Now, I have to say to protect my channel that this is not a girl anymore. This is a boy named Elliot Page. But I think I'm safe to talk about in the past, about 10, 15 years ago, there was a girl named Ellen Page, and she was in movies like Juno, Inception, and this was her. And she was just like a regular, good-looking girl. And, I kind of feel weird admitting this now, but I used to have a little thing for Ellen Page because she used to remind me of one of my ex-girlfriends, a girl I was dating at the time when she was really famous. And she reminded me of my ex-girlfriend. And it's kind of weird because my ex-girlfriend took almost the same path as Ellen Page. And every time I see my ex-girlfriend now, she looks more like a Elliot Page and less like a Ellen Page. And I believe it's for the same reasons. It's the leftism, the liberalism, the Democrat stuff, right? My ex-girlfriend, huge Democrat. And she just turns more and more into an Elliot Page. And that's from the liberalism and the drugs. Lots of drugs. I don't claim that Elliot Page or Kristen Stewart are on drugs. I have no idea. You make your own decision there. But I do know my ex-girlfriend likes to party a lot. She hasn't really changed since the days I was dating her. And it's definitely taken a toll on her. And this is what they do. They completely transform you from a beautiful young girl into this guy. And you see they changed the Wikipedia, Elliot Page now, formerly Ellen Page. So maybe I'm safe to say this on my channel without getting unpersoned from the internet, because even Wikipedia admits it that it was Ellen Page formerly, but now it's a boy. The pronouns are he, him, or they, them. I don't know exactly, but definitely not she, her, definitely not a girl anymore. And it's a full transformation. And when I say they, there is a they, okay? It's either Hollywood people, elite people, whoever controls these people and their decision making or heavily influences them. Now, fortunately, we still have some ladylike ladies, traditional women. One of them is Candace Owens. Okay, now Candace Owens, she was interested in this and she has something to say about it. And, I think she has a good take on it. Little background on Candace, definitely go check her channel out. She's a part of the Daily Wire. She does a great podcast, I think Monday through Friday, and a really good show, especially for the women out there, the girls out there. But they hate Candace Owens, okay? They claim to, protect black people, protect women, stand up for women's rights, for minority rights. But when they find like an intelligent, beautiful, young black woman, they cannot stand Candace Owens and people like her. I've seen videos of white people throwing things at Candace Owens, dumping water on her head, calling her a white supremacist, which is weird, a Nazi. So, they find Candace to be a dangerous person. And this is why, because she has intelligent takes like this. Check out what she has to say about it.
They're also talking about, and the purpose of this cover story is that she has a movie that's coming out and she's playing somebody who she describes as dykey, right? That's a word that if I had said that myself from YouTube and I wasn't a lesbian like Kristen Stewart is, they probably would have hit it. But I guess lesbians are embracing this word. And she says, it was really effing fun to be allowed to have the little dykey sister be the main protagonist in a movie. That's never the main character in a movie. That's never the one that you want to F. I mean, that's the one some people do, but not the one that you are prescribed to want to F. Oh, so raunchy. This is just such a classy interview. And then it goes on and
Sorry to pause it, but this is the interview from the Rolling Stone. This is the actual interview. So
describing what's happening just with him dealing with her. And again, we're back to this beer narrative. He writes, a few minutes later, she wanders off again. She just keeps walking away from me, she narrates in my perspective, and returns from the biohazard fridge with 2 Coors Lights. You can have a beer if you want, she announces. I'm going to have one. Ooh, cool. Oh my God. Now girls are going to look at this and be like, oh, it's so cool. The dykey little sister is now the protagonist, which means they want, if this is what's coming down the pipeline in Hollywood, they want women to embrace this sort of protagonist role in their own life. It's cool to be the dykey little sister, as she writes, swigging beer with your legs open and your hand in your crotch like a dude.
Oh,
and we're supposed to perceive this as, oh my gosh, yay, women are finally free from the goal of having to be women. Oh my gosh, no, This is not freedom. This is enslavement. This is cultural enslavement by telling women that every natural proclivity that they have is wrong, by telling women that everything that shouts at them biologically, wanting to aspire to be beautiful, wanting to meet a prince in your life, wanting to get married and to have children is wrong. Which is so funny because at the same time, they want to convince you that the patriarchy is all around us. And in order to escape the patriarchy, you have to, in many ways, escape yourself. And it's so evident that that just simply isn't the circumstance whatsoever, because they routinely dismiss women and give them names for embracing a traditional lifestyle. The only women in this society that are oppressed or are treated horribly by the media are the women that are actually happy, right? And nothing about Kristen Stewart's life and anything that she put into this article reads to me as somebody that is happy and somebody that is secure. It reads to me like someone who is trying very hard to continually be subversive. And it's just simply not necessary. So I hope that people recognize this, that these two extremes that we're constantly being told that women have to be, like you have to be overtly sexy and constantly trying to get attention and being naked, or you have to just rinse yourself of femininity altogether and be a man. And I am existing to tell women that no, actually, just live your life, be normal, be traditional. It is so cool to simply be normal. Stop telling them that you have to abnormalize everything. And you'll find that when you live a normal life, when you live a life that, in my view, should be Christ-centered, that you will be so much happier than these people that they're trying to convince you are happy. Hey guys, if you like this video, you will definitely...
So that's Candace's take on it. And, you can either agree or disagree, but you definitely can't say Candace isn't smart. Now, what she's saying about them being mad at girls doing the traditional lifestyle and directing them away from it, that is very true, okay? And when I say they, I mean the left brains, the liberals, the Democrats, right? The leftism people. They get really mad about a girl being just like happily married, taking care of the home, a nest maker, they might call it, right? Some people call it. You're at work as a man, your wife's at home cleaning, and God forbid she's cooking in the kitchen, right? That's really bad. Don't have your girl making you a sandwich in the kitchen. If you do that, you're basically a slave owner as a husband who has a wife taking care of the home and the kids. That is until now. They're kind of changing their tune. Very interesting. Check this out. So, as we know, the border's been pretty much wide open. They estimate about 8 to 12 million people have been rushed through the border from 160 different countries. I don't know how many countries you can name, but they're saying they're coming from 160 different countries. And apparently, they want you to start taking them into your home. And if you take them into your home, they're perfectly okay with you putting them to work in the kitchen. And you don't even have to pay them. There used to be a name for that, for having a person work for you for free. But, they're calling it something different now. And it's funny because these same people act like they're really mad about that stuff happening back in the day. But apparently now they recommend you doing it. So check this out right here. Very interesting.
Light. And it's really fun having them. What I realized is there's so much prejudice against refugees, mostly because people don't know them.
Lisa says she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Wildande loves cooking. ¿Te gusta la ocupación? Sí. In fact, her goal is to open up her own restaurant.
Wow. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to stop it there. But yeah, see, they're perfectly fine with this style, this type of person being in the kitchen, cooking for you for free. The only good thing here, in my opinion, is that, we say these women that follow the feminism path, most of them end up dying alone, surrounded by cats. But I guess now you won't be alone with cats. You'll have like your immigrant family that works for you for free. And you can be just like an elite and have your own personal chef. So yeah, now this is another story I'm going to be keeping track of, because some of us have a feeling that the whole taking in the migrants into your home thing is going to have some bad endings. And maybe not. I'm sure sometimes it'll work out great for both sides. But like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'll be updating you on some of that, because the mainstream media will never tell you anything other than great things about doing this. They're the ones promoting it basically like a commercial. And if anything ever goes wrong with it, they will not tell you. They'll hide it 100%. And it's going to be people like me, independent journalists, reporters, YouTubers, whatever you want to call it, It's going to be us who bring this truth to you. So please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. Let's get some conversation going on this stuff. Whether you disagree or agree with me, I want to hear it. And that also gets the algorithm tickled, and that gets the more views on the video. And I would really like to do this full time. So if you could help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it, because YouTube does not like people like me telling stories like this. And I hope you can appreciate the fact that I'm doing it a little different. This was all one take, maybe two. It's not jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. It's not editing. It's not script. This is right off of my head, out of my heart. And this is what I truly believe to be reality in America. And that's the goal, is to just show you guys reality in America, hence the channel name, America's Reality 360. So if you can help me by liking, sharing, subscribing, hit that notification bell. Tune in tomorrow for another video on America's Reality 360. And yeah, be safe. God bless. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, guys. Later.